So you get to that spot in your sales call where you are supposed to ask your prospect to buy, or at least you muster up the courage and you say, please buy. And the prospect says, I need to think about it. Don't believe them. I'm going to cover how to get prospects to give you an answer. Yes or no, get an answer so that you can stop chasing them. So let's cast. When prospects say, I need to think about it, don't challenge them. I don't want you to do that. I want you to agree with them. Say, yes, from what you've told me, this project's very important to you, so you really should give it some thought. Then you ask, how long do you need to think about it? And they're gonna say something like, I don't know, a couple of days. And that I don't know is actually pretty important because your prospects don't have a buying process. So you need to come in with your selling process and help them make this decision. When your prospects tell you, well, a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks, what you do is just double that amount and say to them, okay, no worries. Take a week, take 2 weeks, take 4 weeks. Whatever they've said, just double it, because what you're doing is you're taking the pressure off. You've agreed with them, and then now you're taking the pressure off so that you can get them to lower their defenses, because they're in a very defensive situation at this moment. They are worried that you're going to pressure them. And what we don't want is a client to feel pressured, because if they become a client and they felt pressured coming in, you're going to have a rocky relationship starting off. So we don't want that. We want to put them at ease. We want to have a great working relationship. No matter how long you take, you need to answer these 3 questions to make sure you're making the right decision. The first question is, will this project give me the results I'm looking for? The second question you have to answer is, do I have the budget for this project? Can I invest it? Can I really afford to do this? Or, even better, can I afford not to do this? The third question you have to answer for yourself is this project important enough to get started now? Now we're going to go into some sales technique here. We're going to pretend like we're wrapping up the sales call. We want to take those defenses even further down. We want our prospect to be at ease with us. So we're going to pretend like this is it. We're over. We're done. And we start acting like we're wrapping up, make a little noise with some paper and stuff. And then you bust out the Columbo close. You can go look that up to see exactly what that is. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to say, hey, before we go, can I just ask you a couple more questions? And then go into those questions. Don't wait for a response. It's rhetorical. Just go right into asking the questions. Do you feel from the conversation we've had so far that this project will get you what you want? And your prospect's going to say yes or no, or some variation of it, some positive or some negative. If they give you a negative, they're not quite sure that this project is actually going to get them what they're after, then you go back into figuring out what they really need, because you've missed something. You've missed something in this process. And these questions are great because they reveal objections that you missed. So it gives you a greater chance to find out what your prospect really desires. If they give you a positive, yes, this project, it's exactly what we're after. Then you just go into the next question. Are you comfortable with the budget range that we've talked about? Do you feel that this is an affordable project for you? And they're going to give you a yes or no, right? They're going to give you a positive or a negative. They're either going to say, yes, this is within my budget and we can do this. Or they're going to say, well, I'm a little concerned about that. I'm actually a little concerned. They're not going to tell you, no, I can't afford it. I get prospects all the time in my different companies that will say, I got the money. And then when it really comes down to it, they don't want to pay because no one wants to admit that this is expensive. And so you need to take that pressure off of them. Start discussing the money again. And then also go back to value. What's the real value that they're going to get? And then what's the value that they're going to lose out on if they don't get started? Because if you are, say, going to get them more clients, you're going to get them more customers. What's the value of those more customers? And they're going to let you know. They're going to tell you, well, the lifetime value of a customer is $20,000 each. Well, then by delaying just even a week, it could be costing you $20,000 just in 1 week of delay. So the faster we get started, the more of that value they're going to get. If they give you that yes, well, then you move into an assumptive close. You don't say, how about we get started right now? You go into an assumptive close where you assume they're going to schedule your next step. What is your next step? What's the first step in the onboarding of a new client? Go towards that. They're either going to do the positive or negative. They're going to either say, yes, that sounds good, let's get that on the calendar, or they're going to push back on you. And that's going to give you the opportunity to answer more objections. You're going to find out what's really holding them back. Because when somebody's saying, I need to think about it, it's just that they lack that buying process and they are trying to regain control over the situation. So you're just trying to help them by finding out what did you miss and giving them what they need to make a proper decision. The answer may be no. You may get to this final stage and you've done all this work and then they go, you're right. This isn't as important to me as I thought. Or no, I just am not going to come up with the money. I'm just not going to spend that kind of money. I don't want to get started. You may find that those are the answers, and that's okay, great. Now you don't have to waste any more time on somebody who's never going to buy from you. Then you can move on to your next prospect. But most of the time, if you've gotten to this stage, there's just something that's holding them back, some sort of fear, and you can find out just by asking some simple questions. Let me give you a pro tip. If you have a pre-qualifying step in your sales process, this is a great opportunity to get your prospect to agree to give you a yes or a no when you actually go to your sales call. Whether you call it a presentation, a proposal, whatever you call that next step where you're actually selling and you're showing the person what you do and they dive deep into it, what you do is you get them to pre-commit to a yes or a no. No maybes. We don't want any maybes because a maybe wastes my time and it definitely wastes your time. You don't want me pestering you, right? And they're going to go, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want you pestering me if I give you a maybe. So you get them to pre-commit to a yes or a no. Then you do your sales call, and guess what's going to happen? At the end of the sales call, most people, if they're not just completely sold on it, they're going to give you a maybe. They're not going to give you a no. No one likes to give you a no. So you go back to that pre-commitment, remind them, hey, remember you said you would give me a yes or a no at the end of this conversation. And they're going to be like, yeah, but I'm just not ready. And then you can go into the 3 questions that we just discussed and find out what are the real objections that they have. If they still want to give you a maybe, you tell them, okay, great, that's a no. I'm going to just put you down as a no, and that's okay. I don't want to pressure you to say a yes, so I'm just going to make it a no because, you don't want me pestering you, right? And they're like, yeah, I don't want that, but I'm not really a no. So they start defending their maybe. And so you go, okay, you're not really a no, but here's what I'll do. I'll put you into my follow-up system, and I'll send you a couple of messages here and there, and if you ever become a yes, all you have to do is say, hey, yes, I'm ready to get going. That's it, and there's no pressure. Does that sound good? Using that pre-commitment technique is going to get more people to feel more comfortable with giving you a yes or a no answer at the end of your sales call, which will increase your conversion rates, or it will get you to your next prospect faster so you're not wasting time chasing somebody who is really a no, but they gave you a maybe. So don't be a maybe. Give me a like, a share, a subscribe, and comment, and do all the socials. And let's meet right back here in the next video.